It was fine. We were having a lot of fun. Then the check came. I always take care of a check. I don't believe in this 50-50 thing. So she does this move right here. She reaches for her purse and I go, no. It's fine. I got it. She goes, what? I'm getting my lipstick. Lie to me, please, and tell me you were reaching for a wallet. Welcome to the Yo Show. We are here. You need to subscribe. I got comedy dates all along. Just go to michaelyo.com. Vancouver, South Carolina, North Carolina, Hawaii, Vegas. I'll be at Jimmy Kimmel's. That'll be very cool on November 10th. In the studio right now, we got Alex and we got JJ. And I want to talk about this. We're all married. How long you been married?
11 years.
11 years. I'm going on 7. Alex, how long are you?
Since December. So 10 months. Yeah.
10 months. So we all can be open and talk about this since we have found our person. I wanted to talk about things that have happened on your worst dates. And I knew this would be good for JJ because I'm sure she has a lot of worst dates, but I have a couple of stories. And Alex, do you have any bad dates?
No, man. Every date is a great date. And I could never have a bad date.
Really? No bad dates, Alex?
I might have one or two. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, the reason why I thought about this is because I'll start. I was thinking, me and my friend, I remember when he tried to set me up with this girl. This was probably 13 years ago. And this is also, it's kind of like what knows. Like when you're on a date, like if they do this, no, it's done, right? There's 2 instances that pop into my head. I went to breakfast with this girl. And look, in other countries, this may be fine, and I'm not crapping on it. So she orders eggs.
Okay.
And bacon.
First date.
We meet for breakfast. And she starts eating the eggs, but picking them up with her hands and eating the eggs like that, And I'm like, look, maybe they do that in other countries, and I want to be open to that. But I was not prepared for that. So just imagine, and here's what's crazy. The fork and knife and everything was next to the plate.
It was neglected.
She was like, no. And she just started picking up eggs, talking and just like, oh, no, these are, and I'm like, oh, no. This is definitely not a second date. And she was beautiful. And it surprised me. When somebody does something so shocking, you don't even know how to react to it. And you have to pretend like I couldn't say, yo, you got a fork and knife right there. So you kind of having a conversation with a person that's doing something that's just throwing you off.
All I could think about is the eggs all over her hands at that point.
Her hands were all greasy.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is disgusting. But she was one of those earthy.
I was gonna
super earthy girls.
She was probably cute. Was she really pretty?
She was very cute.
Really pretty, but it's very kind of like a hippie thing to do.
Yeah. And it wasn't my vibe at all.
Oof.
It wasn't my vibe at all. The other one, the other one was I should have wrote it down. You do one of yours.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in. Okay. So many dates take place over food.
Yes.
So I love you started out with the gross egg thing. So I had a date with an actor. I did a lot of actors and musicians before.
When you lived in Hollywood?
Because I was living in LA for sure.
Any of them big actors now?
Some of them, yes. And I'm not going to name names.
No.
Okay. So this is one of them who's pretty big. So we met downtown Los Angeles in Chinatown because he had a favorite restaurant there. So he had his very, very fancy car parked outside the restaurant.
Okay.
And
did he pick you up in the car? Or did you meet there?
Isn't that interesting? I think we met there because you'll see what happens at the end of the date because I was basically got stuck there with him eventually.
Okay.
So he must have picked me up, but it's funny. That's a long drive from the west side of LA to downtown LA. But we're in this cool spot. It was packed and they kind of served you sake right when you sat down and he seemed to know everybody. You know what I mean? So, and
you weren't the first lady he's brought there.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you get these vibe with the super fast players in LA. When you walk into a restaurant, the maitre d' knows them and then they look you up and down. You're like, I don't feel very special.
Yeah.
There's something,
Yeah.
You've seen this, right?
I've seen this and maybe done this in the past, but okay.
This was my first date with this person. So I was just sort of like very much like, hi, I'm JJ. I do not know you at all. Like,
were you in awe of who they were already?
Mildly, but I'd already talked to them in my neighborhood. We actually hung out at the same coffee shop.
Okay.
So I'd had several conversations sitting down with this person. So this guy. So I wasn't like in awe of him at all. I was definitely like, what I lead with on a first date is sort of like, I'm cool. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you relate to that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just there to have fun. Let's have fun and see what happens.
Let's have fun.
And see what happens.
Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Let's show each other who we are and have fun. So I think we started to order and he very much, right away knew the menu and sort of said, well, we're going to have this. And I was like, okay, this is his spot or his joint. And then the weirdest thing was like, he got a phone call. And then the phone call is like, this is my friend. She's Russian. She might come down and join us. And then I'm just kind of like it's one of those kind of freeze frame, like dinner keeps coming and I'm still trying to connect. And I'm like, there's another woman who's going to be joining us. So then I'm kind of confused. Like, is this a date?
Or is this a friend thing?
I thought this was a date, but now there's like a Russian model coming to meet us. Okay. So this girl is on her way to come and meet us. So it's getting a little weirder as time goes on. So
how's the conversation with the guy at this time?
It's interesting, a little bit, but I wouldn't say there was like a
connection.
I didn't feel like I really was secure with what was going on. Like, oh, he just really likes me. He wants to have a good first date. It was kind of, there was a space between us. So we go out on the parking lot and he carried a man bag, like a Merce, like a little man bag, but it didn't have a strap on it. It was more just like a toiletry bag.
Mm-hmm.
A very, very high-end toiletry bag. So we go out in the parking lot and we're about to get into his very fancy car or thinking about it. And he's taking another call from his friend, this woman who's coming down to, we're going to go to the next place. It's definitely like going to be a party night.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So she didn't make dinner,
No,
which must have been good for you. Like, you're like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, because I think, I've said this to you before, I think underneath it all, when I was single, I didn't think of it this way, but I think I was looking to connect with someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still like, well, maybe we're connecting. I hope we're connecting. So he opens the trunk of his car and he's messing in the man bag he has his little bag, his man bag, and a cop pulls into what is basically like a mini mall kind of in Chinatown, downtown LA. You can kind of imagine it. He turns around, sees the cop, and shuts the back of his car because the bag is there open.
Mm.
And then he locks his keys in the trunk of the car.
Mm.
Now, years later, I was kind of figuring,
it had to be cocaine or something.
And I was like, what was in the bag that he kept carrying to the bathroom during dinner that when the cop pulled in the parking lot, he shut it? So then we waited for about another hour and a half, literally on the curb in Chinatown, for his buddy to drive down with his Russian model friend and bring him spare keys to the car.
So this was before Uber,
night.
Obviously. Way before Uber.
So this is probably 2003.
2003. So you're sitting on the curb for an hour and a half, waiting for his friend to come with this Russian model chick. Now, was the Russian model chick with the friend? Like they were together?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they were intruding on you.
No, that developed too. But then I didn't really understand like how it was that his friend had spare keys and then what, so we all went to the next location. So now we're on Hollywood Boulevard going into some club and,
And how was that? Did you connect?
No. But he was like, called me again immediately. But there was definitely it wasn't a personal connection.
Did you go out with him again?
Oh, yeah. I went out with him a bunch and I have more stories.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, your turn.
Oh, well.
Did you remember another weird one?
Yes, I have, but mine aren't stories. They're more of like deal breakers, I took out another girl. Dinner went great. It was fine. We were having a lot of fun. Then the check came. I always take care of a check. I don't believe in this 50-50 thing. So she does this move right here. She reaches for her purse, right?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, every woman, no matter if you're not paying or not, you should do it. Mm-hmm. Reach for your purse, ladies. So she reaches for her purse.
Lovely.
And I go, no. It's fine. I got it. She goes, what? I'm getting my lipstick.
Yeah.
I go, excuse me? She goes, yeah, I was just getting my lipstick. Lie to me, please, and tell me you were reaching for a wallet. You don't just look, that's how I knew. Of course she was beautiful, but of course she is spoiled and knew the guy was but she didn't even have the etiquette in her head to say, nah, thank you so much. It was more of, no, I'm reaching for makeup, my lipstick. And I'm like, oh, you're a horrible person. You're a horrible person that gets what you want when you go out on a date, and I will never see you again. And I never did. It was a deal breaker. That's the thing. It's about deal breakers. It's about first dates. I can't deal with that. It was the only time it's ever happened in my life.
It is an awkward moment. When I agree with you, I always go for the purse, but I'm also I'm a little bit more traditional too. So I'm fully expecting a first date to say, no, I've got it.
Of course, because you know the guy's not going to say. Have you ever had a guy go, oh, you know what? Yeah, there's a 50-50?
No, but I have male friends, younger especially, who expect to split the check. And I definitely.
Is that a thing now?
Splitting the check is the best on a first date.
Get it out of here, Alex. What are you talking about,
let me tell you why.
No.
So, yes, because if you
romance dead.
Yes. If you split the check on a first date, it leaves everything on neutral grounds. You don't feel the need or guilt to have a second date.
You don't get it out.
No. That's why it's the best.
Let me tell you why that
paid
makes
for my first dates, but I'm just saying, if somebody pushes splitting the check more than once, twice, I'll take it, because in my head they want something neutral, and I totally I'm okay with that.
That's Alex in the closet, by the way. If you can't tell by the sound,
right,
he's in the closet of the podcast room because of that thought. No. Because of that thought. Let me tell you, if a woman believes she owes a man something because of dinner, then she's not a strong woman and shouldn't be there should be nothing that's attached to this dinner. You should just be a gentleman and pay for the dinner.
Wow.
Oh, it's not about the man expecting something. It's just about the paying for your own. I'm putting myself in the female position. If I was a woman, I would definitely be a very independent woman, and I would want to pay for me, and I would push for it every single time.
Well, I've had women push for it on the first date, but I believe that's a false push.
Mm-hmm. I would Venmo the person. That's me. I would just Venmo them. I don't want.
No, don't Venmo.
Then that's not a date.
Listen, it's not a date. It is not a romantic situation. It's like nature. When the one bird, it's courtship. So the one bird fluffs its feathers and walks around and shows the other bird its butt. And this is the language of the courtship for sure. No,
so you're not.
That's
you're just
a friend meetup. Yeah. I respect that. That's a friend meetup. Because if I would do that, I don't let a guy pay for a business lunch when I go on a business lunch.
But I prefer that because here's the thing. I don't want to go out on a date with somebody. I like dating my friends. That's me. I want to be friends with somebody before I consider them my romantic partner.
No, but when you go out that first time, it's a courtship. So if you're going out as friends, that's different. But when you pay, I even my friends, I won't. If they're female, I won't let them pay. Most male friends, I won't let pay. I'm just that dude. You know what I mean? But
wow,
I believe in a date, a guy should pay. I will change that. I believe whoever asked the person out on the date should pay for the date. Because I've been on business lunches where somebody will ask me to a business lunch. They should pay. Whoever asks should pay.
I think that's good etiquette on a business lunch. I think if you invite someone, you kind of take on you are a host in a sense.
Yes.
But the romance, the problem is, Alex, I don't know how you switch from if you're like, this is all equal, that is just unsexy. You know what I mean? Like, how do you switch
to
from
you?
That?
I'm the sexiest man to my wife.
There you are. Is that how you did your wife on the first date?
Who pays for dinner when you go out with your wife?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Well, they're married.
Typically we'll just split it.
But it's from the same money.
Split it?
But it's from the same
because
money.
it's the same. It comes from.
But it doesn't matter.
It comes from the same. It comes from like. Here's the thing. If I pay for it, I have $100 less. If she pays for it, she has $100 less. We're saving for a house. Like at the end of the day, so sometimes I don't want to go out because I'm trying to save money, and my wife will be like, "No, but I'll pay for it." And I'm like, "You do realize it's the same thing. Like at the end of the day, it's the same." So now we've just started. Now we have a shared credit card, and now we started doing that to make it easier. But
nice.
we typically split it.
Look, if anybody is listening to this podcast, please leave comments below about the deal breakers when you date someone. And I think, Alex, when you first took your wife out on a date, did y'all split the check?
No, I paid for
I didn't think so. Okay.
But here like our first here's the thing. My wife is my second girlfriend like ever.
Okay.
So I'm in a little bit of a situation where I don't have many date stories. Okay. But I do have one that I don't know how to explain it. So I was at the mall and this girl was selling internet. I thought she was super cute. So I was like, well, what time do you work tomorrow? And I was like, oh, we can go out after work. So I picked her up. We went to dinner. And I come from a very small town. So she's like, we're just talking about random things. And then she hits me. We're both like, I was 18, 19. She was maybe like 20, 21. So she was a couple of years older. And then she hits me with like do you know this person? And I said, yes, because it's a small town. And I was like, oh, she's like, okay. But then I'm like, why would you ask? Like, what do you think she would ask for, Michael? Like, why would somebody ask if you know somebody?
Because they've dated them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I thought. And I was like, of course I know that person. Again, small town. And she's like, oh, yeah. He's my baby daddy. And I'm just like, well, I don't like when people, like, I don't mind that she has kids, but I don't like when people use the word baby.
You don't like baby daddy? Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Like,
but that was just that was such a catchphrase term back. I don't think anybody uses baby daddy anymore, do they?
I think they do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that was I thought she was nice. It was like slightly.
Was that a deal breaker at that moment? I mean, it probably was kind of a disappointment, wasn't it? Just now you have to think about this guy.
No, because I took her out with her kids, and I love her kids. Like they were so nice. But it was sprung up on me a little bit. I wish she would have waited, maybe like an extra day or so. That was I
have a kind of story like you. So this woman I went out on a date with was, I guess you could call it a celebrity. She's well known. And we just start talking, like texting. That's when texting was big. So we were texting back and forth and all that stuff. And she came out to one of my comedy shows. She goes, oh, could you save me a seat with a friend? We're coming to your comedy show. So I'll go, great. This is awesome. This is great. So I'm thinking she likes me and she wants to come see me perform, right?
Yeah. She's going to show up with a girlfriend.
It's going to be great. Looking hot.
Yep.
She showed up with Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh, everyone dated Wilmer Valderrama.
Everybody dated Wilmer.
Wait, why does that name sound familiar?
He was on that 70s show.
Oh.
Dude.
Isn't his name Fez in the 70s show? I don't know what.
Fez is the curly hair guy.
Oh.
He was notorious for being one of the last people at a Hollywood party. But that's the same era of that date I was telling you about.
Yeah, this dude he's dated everybody in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I was so emotionally, because I was like, oh my God, she likes me. She's bringing a girlfriend. I'm going to do well to. And I love Wilmer. He's a great guy.
Totally, right.
Love Wilmer.
Right.
But it was just a shock to me. And then the brick story broke that she was dating Wilmer for a little bit. But he dated everybody. So you won't be able to figure out what girl I'm talking about. But I was, it's so odd because you had to pretend like you were happy to see her.
Cool with it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, hey, blank your name. And hey, what's up, Wilmer? So I'm like hosting a girl
and
with her date.
Oh.
With her date.
It would have been funny if you had to pay for it too.
Oh, I didn't have to pay for it. But it was just a moment where I'm like, oh my God. What you thought was there was nothing at all.
That's the thing too. So we're all married, which is hilarious. Yeah. And for anyone watching who is not married, I'll just say that's the thing I remember so much about dating and having people show up to your shows and, going on dates in a small town is that there's so much of the time you don't really know what's going on and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And that's part of the security of marriage is what's going on.
Yes. Let me tell you the second date.
No, so sick of this person.
But no, nothing's going on. And that's what makes it so great.
Yes, the drama.
There's I didn't mean that as mean. Nothing as in there's no drama. You know what's going to happen. You know where they're going to be. You know somebody is going to always be there to support you. And that's what's so great. I like nothing. You know what I mean?
No drama.
No drama.
Let me tell you guys the second date I went on with my wife. I think I might have told Michael this maybe, but this is how I knew she was the one. We go to the movie theater. Skip past all the popcorn and stuff. Too expensive. When you go to a movie theater on a date, do you guys stop there?
I think more so on a date, you expect concessions at a movie theater. I don't know why.
I do.
Okay, well, we skipped past it. We didn't talk about it. I wasn't oh, do you want no. We skip past it. We go to the
Now let me ask you this, and don't take this the wrong way. Did you skip it because you're a bigger person and you didn't want her to feel oh, you're eating at a movie?
No, I skipped it because it's expensive.
Okay, all right. Fair
anyway,
deal.
So, but keep in mind, it's not like my wife was a stranger. I had known her as a friend for maybe 2 years.
So you weren't trying to really impress her then or anything like that?
Not impress her, no, because
yeah.
I had already known her. I did know she had a crush on me a few years ago. But I wasn't trying to be rude or anything.
Gotcha. It was just expensive. So did she want it or you didn't even ask her?
No, I didn't even ask. Because I'm not used to it. I wasn't trying to be mean. I just I didn't even think about it.
Okay.
But we get into the movies and I hear rustling from her bag. I'm and then she pulls out a water bottle and she's like, "Alex, do you want a water?"
It's not water. It's not water.
And then I take a water and she's like, "Do you want a juice pouch?" And I was like, "What?" So she pulls out juice pouches. And then 10 minutes in, she pulls out popcorn bags.
Plastic bags filled
Smart Pop or whatever. She pulls out Smart Pop. She's like, "Do you want popcorn?" I'm like, "Yes, give me popcorn." And then so we're eating our popcorn, and I'm like, "God, this is great."
This is my wife.
Woman for me.
Well, my wife loves sneaking stuff into movies too. She is a queen at sneaking in stuff in movies. Because why would you want to pay for those expensive? She grabs a couple bottled waters. We'll pop popcorn here, put them in plastic bags. Boom, done.
The whole time we were on the same page.
It was a match made in heaven, as they say.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the couple crazy dating stories I had. And they're not super crazy. I mean, I've dealt with, mentally not stable. I had one. My wife knows about this, but she was not mentally stable. And that was crazy.
I had one of those too. She followed me home. Yeah. It was so crazy.
Yeah. It was a weird situation. And my heart goes out to, I want everybody to get well, but on the phone ride to the house was different than getting there. It was a totally different person.
Wow.
Think lovely, flowers, everything's great. Then when you get there, why were you going? It was whoa, what happened 2 seconds ago when I was on the phone? So, but I know a lot of people, that have dated a mentally not stable person and you wish them the best, but it's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to handle. And I'm not a person that, made me bad, but I don't want to be in a situation like that where I'm always trying to take care of someone, and it's just not a healthy life. And I was younger too. It's just not a healthy lifestyle for a person.
I've been around several situations where people were in relationships with people who are mentally ill, and it's tricky because you're so in it.
Yeah.
You care about it, that the person, and maybe different sides of the person. Mm-hmm. I think in general, once you start sleeping with someone in a lot of cases, there's this bond that happens that's a little beyond a normal bond.
Yeah.
And it can make it hard to kind of get out of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of stay in it longer than maybe you would because you're.
Or you're to a point where you don't want to start over.
Yeah. I mean, remember that.
Yeah. I've never been in that position myself.
Yep.
But I've had friends, like for some reason, every woman talks to me about every girlfriend I have, they always talk to me about their relationship problems. And I've heard so many women say the craziest things about the guy and they're still with him. And they ask me my opinion. I go, if I were to tape you and play it back for you, you would think that person's crazy. So obviously, you know the answer. You just don't want to get out of it.
Listening to friends, and I listened to a new friend talk about a first date with an NFL football player down on the Las Vegas Strip.
Okay.
That was so like every second of the date, I was like, why didn't you walk out? Why didn't you walk out? Why didn't you walk out?
Yeah.
And it's hard because it's when you're not there and you're not in it and you're not struggling with wanting to be liked and also, thinking the person's attractive, it's so much easier. It's so obvious.
Well, I feel like also when you hit a certain age, male or female, you give up a lot just to be in a relationship. You know?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about male or female. Once you get over 40, it's kind of like, okay, it's smaller pool. Now, you know what I mean? The people you're dating, because at once I want a single person with no kids with this.
Ooh.
And now when you're over 40, you're like, okay, I want a person.
Who's out there?
No, I just want a person. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the pool gets smaller and smaller the older you get. And I hate to put it on women, but it's even harder for women, because men can age, society has said when men age, that's great. It's funny to hear.
I like the term salt and pepper. I like that term.
Yeah, it's salt and pepper, but on a woman, it's gray. No,
that is true for sure. Like, the
value of men goes up when they get older, and society says when a woman gets older, and I think it's changing some because women over 50 now are looking amazing.
I was going to say, like the woman I'm referencing is in her 40s. She's so smoking hot. But I think too, when you have an amazing personality, you can also kind of like break through all of that and kind of be in your own lane. I mean, when you're an amazing person.
I agree and disagree at the same time because it's just a pool of men. Mm-hmm. It's smaller, or whoever you date.
There's no question.
It's just a smaller pool.
No. And my mom,
you can break through, but you're still dealing with the same pool.
You know how much I love hearing about your mom, and my mom is up on a farm in her 80s in Washington. She loves talking about dating because she dated all over this country as an airline stewardess.
Oh, wow.
Yes. She has got dating stories galore like crazy. But she always told me, like, any man you meet over 40 is going to be divorced. I mean, she was telling me that like when I turned 30. Like, so just know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying because, and you got to wonder if a man's not locked down in a marriage or been married before 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Like serial playboy.
A playboy. I have three friends that are in their 40s and they've been single ever since. And they're multimillionaires that fly to countries and just do bingers for like a month. Like they got that much money.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to be married. So when a woman meets them, like.
But I bet you they have like little convenience wives. I bet you they have women that caretake them and maybe they date on
They got
and
a lot
off.
of those.
Yes.
They got a lot of those.
Yes.
Yeah. And but they know what they're signing up for. The women do too.
Totally.
Because it's all over their Instagram. I've been in places with these guys where 3 women are dating the same dude and he's just talking to them like, just like, they're friends.
Isn't it weird, like the realities that people will accept?
Yeah. Let me tell you, one of our friends, this is like 15 years ago. I got to reference that because I'm married and stuff. So this happened all when in my early 30s. And my friend dated this phenomenal woman. He just didn't want to be settled down. And it was a code amongst the guys. And she was great. Mm-hmm. No guys could go after her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was our code. No, and would every one of those guys that were in our crew would have dated that girl? 100%.
Loved her.
What would have probably would have got married to her.
Oh,
like she was that type of, like she was phenomenal.
Special.
She was special. And we were all like, what are you doing, bro? Mm-hmm. Why? This is the best you're going to get. Lock it in. What are you doing? And, everything else from his dating life is not as good as what this person was. And I go, you're crazy. And every one of his guy friends, me and all our crew was like, dude, you're crazy, right?
You know what though?
And any one of those dudes would have dated her, you know? If no, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
But I will recognize she was phenomenal.
Understood. It's all about
because
timing.
Because the reason I wouldn't have dated, because she wanted to be settled down right then.
Got it.
You mean, and I was like in my early 30s. I didn't get settled down to 8 years later.
Man, I was so not I remember one of my best friends got married when she was 23. And I was so
my God.
My I didn't even say the word husband until I probably turned 30. Like even I just was
How long were you married before you said husband?
No, right away.
Right away, right?
Fiance was so great. Like, did you enjoy being engaged, Alex? Because I loved you. I have a fiance. I know that was so cool. Adult, like I was playing a.
Here's the thing: I had a fiance for like 3 years. So there's something like more to that. Like when I was relocating to Las Vegas, we weren't even engaged at the time, but I think my wife was like told her work like, oh yeah, my fiance like because if you're like, oh, my boyfriend's relocating and like, can I relocate?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that's a different through line.
You get taken like your boyfriend.
Yeah,
but we had been together at the time for like 4 years or whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy. I remember fiance when you first start saying it, it's weird, and then when you first get married, you're like my wife, and it really hits you. It's like my wife. This is it's a cool feeling, but it gets used to. You have to get used to saying it.
Do you guys think that because I got married or because I found my person so young that I missed out on all these like crazy stories? Because I feel like everybody has these crazy stories.
No, because you'll have different crazy stories.
Yeah, I guess so.
No matter, because in life, no matter the situation, the crazy will find you. It will. All right. Any last comments before we get out of here?
Oh my gosh. Just keep high standards, you guys, for who you date. Dude. When you ladies, when you're out there and you feel like, man, that did not make me feel good, or I really don't know if this guy likes me, guess what? It doesn't matter. You probably don't like him and you should get out of the situation.
Yeah. And next time you address the camera, that's yours over there.
Oh, well, I thought we were taking the
wide
double shot.
Oh, okay. No, it's all about you on those one takes.
Okay.
Ladies, pay for more first dates. Pay for more first dates.
No, ladies do not.
No way.
No.
Don't do it.
Ladies, don't pay for first dates. Don't pay
flex,
for first dates.
Flex on the guy. Pay on some first dates. Whip out the credit card.
Do not take Alex's advice. At all. Okay.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Check out Michael Yo's tour dates at his website.
Yeah, they're all right there.
Instagram.
Subscribe. We'll see you next time. Later.